Nearly 4 years after he was arrested, charged with the deaths of J.J. Vallow, Tylee Ryan, and Tammy Daybell, Chad Daybell is on trial.
Jury selection started at the Ada County Courthouse today. The judge, prosecution, and defense finished questioning potential jurors around 6 p.m. Groups of 16 were called at a time. From the two groups questioned today, 16 are moving forward. Attorneys need to get to a pool of 50 prospective jurors, and then they each get 16 peremptory challenges where they don't have to explain why they are excusing jurors.
Ultimately, they need 18 jurors, 12 jurors, 6 alternates. Today, the judge started out by giving jurors instructions, followed by the state and defense asking group questions, and then they questioned them individually. That's where potential jurors were asked whether the death penalty being on the table will impact their ability to give a fair and impartial verdict.
Potential jurors were also asked questions like, could any hardships get in the way of them serving on this case for up to 10 weeks? Do they have any bias for or against Daybell? Do they know about Daybell's case from the media? And do they have any opinion about whether Daybell is guilty based on what they know?
And what's important is that you apply the facts not as you see the group and go along with the group, but that you basically tell the truth and you speak your mind. This is your opportunity to say how you feel and to be honest about how you feel.
The state is not going to be required to prove exactly what caused the death of a person. Our element would be to prove that it was a homicide. Does anyone have concerns if you were to be presented evidence that someone was killed, but the state did not provide the specific cause?
Tom Evans remembers that question well. He served as a juror on Lori's trial last year, and he wrote a book about it. The proceeds go to Hope House, which helps kids in need. Evans is sitting in on Chad's trial over the next couple months because he plans to write a part 2.
I would like to see more information about Chad's inner circle. I think there are some people there that can't just be innocent. They had to have known something. At least they could have told the police something while the children were missing. Possibly they knew ahead of time they were, I'm not saying this, that they did. Maybe somebody knew ahead of time that they were going to be murdered. Maybe that could have been stopped. I want to know more about that for sure, and I'm really hoping that comes out.
Our Maggie O'Mara interviewed Evans, juror number 18, back in February. You can watch her full story on our website, ktvb.com. Jury selection could take all week, potentially longer, maybe bleed into next week as well. The trial could last up to 10 weeks with a 2-week penalty phase on the back end. If the jury finds Daybell guilty, that is because the death penalty is on the table in this case.
Sure, and more than 60 witnesses were called to testify at Lori Vallow's trial last year. Right now, it's unclear how many people will be called to testify at Chad's trial. However, the rules for those who are going to testify, well, they're pretty similar. Witnesses cannot watch, read, or listen to any part of the trial until after they have testified.
During Lori's trial, there were no cameras in the courtroom, but audio and court sketches were released at the end of each day. However, this is what's really different. Chad's trial is being live streamed publicly on YouTube, on the judge's YouTube page. That means anyone has access to those proceedings. During a pretrial conference hearing in February, which is what you're seeing on the screen now, Judge Stephen Boyce said witnesses will have to testify under oath that they have not watched any part of the proceedings before beginning their testimony. If they do, they may not be allowed to testify. Well,
during that hearing, lawyers for both sides said they're concerned some witnesses could use it to try and get out of testifying. But Judge Boyce said if a witness did that, well, they could still be compelled to testify. At least one witness, David Warwick, Melanie Gibbs' husband, testified under oath during Lori's trial that he listened to part of her trial before testifying. He was still permitted to continue his testimony, though the defense was able to bring up the defiance to the rule and allowing the jury to reflect on his credibility as a witness.
Day 2 of jury selection is tomorrow. For everything you need to know about this trial, text the word Daybell to the number on your screen. That's 208-321-5614, and we will send you the latest on what's happening in the case.